Aloha, friends and neighbors. Rollin Frost here. Raleigh to my friends. Trying to do a little chart work and skimp by. And living in the islands, just like all of you, huh? Think about getting into your own chart and those of your friends and family. What an amazing experience it would be. It's easy. It's easy. Yeah. rollinfrost@yahoo.com. We're going to do show 1127 for you now. Covering the second week in July. There's really two themes here. The first is Jupiter is stationing and stopping. Ho, 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 optimism. Optimism in our world today, amazing. But it seems like, well, it trines Neptune. The artistic, religious folks are going to be very optimistic, and the oil companies and the pharmaceuticals, and you might learn some truth about some of this stuff too. Jupiter's in Scorpio, you know, the sign of the detective. So, that's the way it looks if you can do astrology just with a $20 book. The ephemeris, here's the way it looks in the ephemeris. Your little D there means it's slowing down, stopping, and going direct, going forward. And so this will be the peak of optimism. Right in here, it's on the 10th, 11th. The moon will set it off a little bit, and once every 6 hours or so, you'll get a hit of laughter and joy, I hope. So you'll feel that Jupiter station, guaranteed. Can't miss it, at least until you get to this next change point in your week, which has to do with an eclipse at 20 degrees of Cancer. Happens on the 13th. Now, 20 degrees of Cancer, an eclipse, opposes the planet Pluto. And that's a very dramatic thing. That's, eek, a shark, eek, a nuke. Stuff like that's going to come up on or about and after that eclipse. Now the sun here is going between 14 and 24 Cancer. It's kind of like a little trigger. And I've marked out the players on the stage for you. Here's Jupiter, see? He's first on the list. Jupiter comes in just about the time you're seeing this. If you're on a Thursday night show, sun's trining Jupiter. Ha ha ha, hooray, hooray. Lawyers and professors and lightning bolts of truth. Try to look on the bright side of things. Neptune comes in a little bit later. That'll be 3 days from where you're at right now. The sun will trine Neptune, and there'll be religious inspiration. Could be really nice. And then finally the sun's going to hit that opposition to Pluto right here at 20. That's still just about a week from where you're at now. And everything changes. It's eek, a bug, and panicky, and this is going to go on for a month. And makes me worry a little bit about how this sets up in our country's chart. Well, we're in luck. Neither of those two eclipses hits the U.S. government chart. So, let's take a look at this day by day. Friday the 13th, huh? What's that? Ooh, gee, there it is. That's the new moon, the eclipse opposing Pluto. That's a heavy-duty eclipse. It's going to show up in the world in lots of places. Maybe I'll get to that later. Let's find out what's going on day by day, okay? I'm going to run the moon around the edge of this planetary pattern. And as it makes angles to the various bodies, it generates the mood of the time, we call it. It's a generic charts for everybody. Here's a Thursday show back here. Early Thursday morning, you were stuck. You were depressed. The moon squared Saturn, eek. And then you got going in the afternoon. Here's a nice trine to Mercury. Everybody running around Thursday afternoon and evening. Felt good. Then here's a square, 10, 11 o'clock. The moon squared the sun and you lost your ambition. Friday, okay, July 6th. What goes on? Well, here before lunch, there's a nice sextile to Pluto. Now here's a chance to get a handle on these kinds of problems before you get to that eclipse on Thursday. So anything you want to fix in the way of Pluto, this could be everything from excrement to bugs to emergency stuff to security, safety, all that stuff. You worried about ashes from the volcano? Well, it's always good to have one of those masks around just to pick up the big stuff. But don't worry about SO2 or VOG. They're not going to hurt you. This is Pluto. You know, you're going to realize some of that stuff on Friday. As you go into Friday evening, the moon in Aries makes a nice trine to Venus. Something lovely going on here. Something sexy and loving. Friday night, at 8, 9, 10 o'clock. And then the moon hits Uranus. Woo, brotherhood, Aquarian spirit, common sense. Might take you out of that mood you were in, that Venus mood, with kind of a jolt. But it's a good one because whatever information you start picking up here, there's the trine to Saturn later. That's just before lunch, around the middle of the day, Saturday the 7th, and you organize it. Yeah, so first comes some pleasure, then electric stuff from the internet and information in an Aquarian way, and then a practical application of it Saturday. Saturday's going to be a good day because here's the Uranus thing. That's, let's see, 2 a.m., 4, 6, that's breakfast. The moon goes by Uranus. Everybody has common sense consciousness. Hooray! Well, Saturday, you go towards the afternoon. Uh-oh, here's a square to Mars. And Mars ain't happy. He just stationed. He's still pretty raging. 8 Aquarius. So people's tempers are running awful thin here on Saturday. And then they overdo it. This could be a heat wave that you're having July 7th. This could be fires, like fireworks from the 4th of July. At any rate, too much heat, too much aggression, too much anger. Saturday night. It's a nice morning. Don't expect it to go into the evening Saturday. Sunday looks like a religious, spiritual time. Yes. Here's a nice sextile to Neptune. And the sun is there. And so this is a good time for you to do some religious, artistic experience. It's Sunday. It's the sun's day. It's for the Father. Yes. Ancient civilizations were right, you know. You just brand everything a pagan and human sacrifice and crap like that as propaganda. Yeah. You go back and read and do some research. Ancient those guys were bright, smart. They had a handle on things, perhaps more than we do. So, Sunday, study some ancient stuff. It'll last well into Monday morning. The moon's still in Taurus here. And then after breakfast, it shifts into Gemini, and it becomes more active, more energetic. Here's a nice trine to Mars. Get out there and do something physical. Be a hero, be a protector Monday. That's what it's about. On Tuesday, the 10th, here's the Neptune square. Bad smells, problems with liquids. You know, this is confusion and delusion Tuesday between breakfast and lunch. Don't trust anything liquid. Don't trust anybody on Tuesday. everybody's a little delirious. On Wednesday, just before lunch, the moon shifts into Cancer, and it changes in a nice, really nice way, because here's a sextile to Venus, there's some love around, and then a sextile to Uranus, there's some brotherhood, intellectualism. It's very nice Wednesday morning. You go to Wednesday afternoon, however, and the moon hits 5 degrees and opposes Saturn. Ugh, there's no money, there's no time, bad judgments. Here we were free to have fun, and suddenly we got no money, no time. You know, don't step over that line. Uh-oh. Moon in early Cancer. Thursday comes up a lot better. Here you're going towards that new moon, and you get to, first of all, Thursday morning is the trine to Jupiter. Wisdom, lightning bolts of truth. And then the trine to Neptune here, just after breakfast. That's color, art, sensitivity, spirituality. Very nice. Of course, finally, we're going to take that opposition to Pluto. It's Thursday afternoon on this new moon. It's going to be a panicky month. But people, see, this is an eclipse, and so Pluto, if you go against Pluto, if you threaten the policeman, he's probably just going to whip out his military gun and kill everybody. So this is no time to mess with Pluto. Don't play with the sharks. I mean, Pluto he's not just Sherlock Holmes. He's a guy with the gun. You know, he's a terrorist. He's the bomber. He's all these things that they panic, and you know, there's going to be a lot of that because this is an eclipse of the sun, and somebody's going to go and knock off the father figures, the bosses, yeah. So this is tough on father figures, and the assassins are out to get you, and you'll be feeling that for a whole month after this eclipse, at least a month. On Friday, the moon's in Cancer at first, and then it shifts into Leo. Here's a square to Uranus. There's glitches on Friday, in the middle of the day, battery problems, electrical problems. You know, everybody's trying to take care of people here. There's Mars. Mars is on the node. There's a lot of nurturing from the military, I guess. I don't know. Saturday, the moon's in Leo, and it's going by Mercury here, squaring Jupiter. It's kind of like talking too much and laughing too much here in the middle of Saturday. As you go through Saturday night, you're still feeling like laughing a lot, but here's a nice trine to Uranus. Technical expertise comes in Sunday. The genius is out. And what's more, there's a nice trine to Saturn, and so you can organize that higher knowledge. You can apply it. You know, shouldn't we have a union here? Something to combat these Saturn characters? Sure. The moon goes by Venus Sunday night after dinner. It's very nice. You had brotherhood in the morning, got organized with the budget in the middle of the day, and had some pleasure Sunday afternoon and evening with Venus. Not bad. Okay, let's take a look at that July 12th eclipse, huh? That opposes Pluto. What does that mean? It means that eclipses kill things. Who's it kill? The people that oppose Pluto. Okay, here's one spot on the astrocartography. They're going to feel it strongly. Running through the border, San Diego, through Las Vegas, Hoover Dam here. We could have incidences of terrorism and stuff any place along there. Okay, here's the other eclipse, July 27th for Aquarius, and you can see it runs up through the Bay Area here. Here's the Uranus line, which could be where the quakes would try to happen, and electrical machinery, train, truck kinds of accidents through here. Okay, here's the August 10th new moon, and this one squares Uranus, and we got Uranus on the mid-heaven here. That's this line. Moves down here, goes through Cuba and Miami and this coastline here. This could be power outages, hurricane kind of stuff. I mean, this is August 10th. Okay, here we are on October 24th, full moon. This is a full moon on the planet Uranus. Uranus is acting like a lunatic line. And here's one line, goes right up through here. It's the same sensitive hurricane-ish area. Up through this area, I'm not sure what that means, power outages, something like that maybe. But Pluto on the ascendant says panic down here. See, this is where the heavy duty stuff happens. Okay, look at the world map here. And what is that? Here's Uranus and all the rest of these guys in the nodes. And they're piling up here pretty heavy on our little Hawaiian islands, aren't they? So this one says major hurricane trip going on here. Here's another hot spot for hurricanes. Another hot spot over here by Cuba, running up to Florida area. Okay, so I begin doing charts all over the islands, looking for the place when this thing is most angular. And what I find, here it is, full moon at 1 Taurus 13. Here's the descendant at 2 Taurus 01. And Uranus right there, boy, it's close. So where is this? And the nodes here at 1 Leo 21. So 2 degrees turns out to be, the west side of Kauai, which indicates maybe the hurricane has gone past the islands and takes that little jaunt up and ruins Koloa or other areas on that west coast. So you're in the crosshairs, folks, on Kauai on the west side. I'm sorry to bring you the news, but the window starts October 24th. Yeah, or a few days before that. So this is kind of late in the season yet, huh? Okay, here's a 1/4 moon, November 15th. And, it pretty much shouts hurricane. And again, I looked around in the islands for the place where it's most exact. Came up with Lahaina. It's when Uranus really opposes real close at 29 degrees. And the nodes are in square. And that doesn't mean, that means a hurricane going to go by that area, is what that means to me. Yeah. And this is, the middle of November already. It's getting late. Okay, here's the final chart in the series. This is a new moon, December 6th. Yes. And when you do it in Hawaii, what you get is Uranus right up at the top. And that means public chaos. Hurricanes do that. They scatter, tree limbs all over the road and blow things around. And so this is a hurricane marker for certain. And where is it exact? 2837, 2859. Comes up again. Came up exact in Koloa and that west side of Kauai. So, this could be another signal. I mean, commonly we get a signal and another signal, and here's the third signal, December 6th. 2 hurricanes? No, more likely. The others were early signals. But this coming up like this tends to say that first week in December, it's going to get really windy over there on Kauai. Strap everything down, folks. Okay. First of all the shabai, the silliness over sulfur dioxide gas and H2S gas. H2S is flammable. It burns. Anything comes off of that lava, H2S, it burns immediately. There's no H2S out there. SO2, sulfur dioxide, is water soluble. And it's not going to hurt you. No. Here's one of the Bibles. occupational health is where you learn about the effects of these things. You look up sulfur dioxide in here, and what it says is very clear. It says, and I quote, "Since it's water-soluble, its action is likely to be limited to irritation. Endurable concentrations can be tolerated for long periods of time without appreciable danger to health." It's water-soluble. Yes. So it's not dangerous. Furthermore, the chances of there being any sulfur dioxide in your environment are almost nil. See, the lava does emit sulfur dioxide, but it immediately reacts with nitrogen and air and water and all of it to make ammonium sulfate, which is a little funny plate crystal, which you call VOG. So all of the sulfur dioxide gas right over the volcano, as soon as it's emitted, reacts with what's in the air, and it makes the VOG. The VOG is harmless. It's little tiny platelets. That's why they look like there's a lot of it, but it reflects light in such a way that we tested it. We did, so Jim Morrow and I, the Lung Association guy with a degree in environmental health like me, we tested it, and we found out it's only 1/10 the particulate level in most American cities. It looks like a lot, but it's not. Furthermore, the VOG is harmless. It dissolves in your body right away. It's fertilizer, ammonium sulfate. Yes. And the trouble is, see, these folks, they measure the sulfur dioxide at the vent. They've been measuring that for a long time because they can tell how much lava is coming out by how much sulfur. Anyway, it's easily measured. And so you're getting these numbers from people who don't know anything about the health effects and what happens to the gas afterwards. These folks don't even know that VOG, they're calling it sulfate particulates. It's ammonium sulfate, folks. They haven't got VOG straight because the health department lied to you like it was a hazard. Yes, to keep their money going, and now they're stuck in their law. The people that know about this are people from OSHA, OCA, Oil Chemical Atomic Workers Union. The mining, MESA for mining is OSHA, not Department of Health or DLNR or these other agencies. They don't even know what VOG is. It ain't going to hurt you. No, we got more of it right now because there's more sulfur dioxide being emitted from the volcanoes and the vents. And the more SO2 comes off the volcano, the more VOG. Sulfur dioxide gas reacts with air and nitrogen and stuff and makes VOG, a harmless little crystal that floats in the air, flying fertilizer, little plates of ammonium sulfate. Up in a VOG area, they'll never get asthma. A lot of people say they come here with asthma, breathe some VOG, it disappears. There's evidence that VOG actually helps asthma. So, we've got a whole bunch of misinformation. Some of it's because the health department got trapped in their old lie. VOG won't hurt you. There's no sulfur dioxide gas coming around. And this is all fear porn. Don't believe any of it. No, nobody has been injured, not at all. But yet there's police running all around keeping you away from these areas and supposedly for your safety. And who's out there? The civil defense people saying we're here 24/7 for your safety. These are the same folks that gave you this is not a drill. So, these are government people kind of running amok. Nobody's been hurt. Nobody's been poisoned by sulfur dioxide or H2S. Where's the evidence? You should find at least some birds. No, Birds haven't even been injured by this. They take birds into mines, and it used to be, before they got little instruments, to detect sulfur and acid gases and stuff in mines that hurt people. Okay, and durable for a long time without appreciable health. Look, about VOG, it's a letter to Bruce Anderson. And here it says, ammonium sulfate dissolves in the body fluid like table salt. The only harm it can cause is when particles don't have enough fluid to cleanly carry it away. If you're driving and the wind contains VOG particles and impacts your eyes, you may not have enough water to carry it all away. What the result is a weak sulfuric acid, and your eyes will get a little red. Same thing at night. If you don't turn over at night, maybe you drank too much. On the top of your throat, you can get a light acid burn on that because not enough fluid to carry all the VOG particles away. And that's the only thing VOG can do. A little eye irritation, a little sore throat, and those are because areas of your body were dry, and the ammonium sulfate didn't have enough to dissolve and carry away. So you got a little light solution of sulfuric acid. That's all VOG can do, folks. Sulfur dioxide is similar. No fear. Used to use sulfur dioxide in all refrigerators. It is heavier than air, and when you get into it, it's terrible taste. So you could get in trouble in low pockets. There could be little pockets right around lava flows. But it's not hazardous immediately to your health. So if you get into a little one, you'll taste it, you'll smell it, and you just get out and go to a little higher ground. So I don't imagine even a little rat or a mongoose has been hurt out there yet with this. So sulfur dioxide gas, no fear. VOG, ammonium sulfate particles, no fear. What does that leave? Ash. Well, if your car windshield has ashes on it, go ahead and get yourself a little dust mask. Won't hurt. Okay? We need to learn more about the particle size of ash and composition, but basically, the further you are away from the ash fall, the smaller the particle is. So there's more likely that you should just watch your car windshield, or even your glasses. You put your glasses out at night, and the next morning, see what's on the glass, and you'll know whether or not. Also, whatever you might cough up will tell you if your ashes are a problem for you in that location. There, best way to get a hold of me, rollinfrost@yahoo.com.